Namaste. On occasion of this International Yoga Day, I'm going to lead you through a quick session where I'm first going to just talk about the nervous system and how yoga impacts the nervous system, how stress impacts the nervous system, and how yoga can help us deal with this stress. In the second section, I'm going to, for 10 minutes, quickly show you some asanas that you can do sitting on your seat as well as on your mat if you have a mat available. And these are asanas that can be done for just 5 minutes in between your work or even at the end of your day, just to relax and to target the specific muscles that will be getting tight with your kind of work behind the computer. So when we talk about the nervous system is split into two parts. So there's the central nervous system, and the central nervous system consists of course, our brain and the nerves running inside the spinal cord. So the central nervous system is for all central processes of our body. Then you have the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral, as the name suggests, periphery, it goes to all the parts of our body, and the peripheral nervous system is important for communication between that central nervous system and all the other parts of our body, our organs, our limbs, etc. So the peripheral nervous system is mainly involved with sensation. So our five senses, from hearing to sight, all of those senses. Then it's also involved in movement. It allows us to move in space, to move our body up and down, so that connection to our muscles is happening through the somatic aspect of the nervous system, which is a part of the peripheral nervous system. And we also have another aspect within the peripheral nervous system, and this is the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system, like the name suggests, auto, which means that it is the automatic processes that are happening within our body. So the autonomic nervous system is involved in the functioning of our organs, the functioning of our heart, the functioning of our breath rate. And I know this might be a little bit complicated to begin with, but please bear with me, as this is really important information to help us realize how yoga, pranayam can really help us in moments of stress. So I'm just laying the foundation to that understanding. So within this autonomic nervous system, we have two aspects of the nervous system. So there is the sympathetic and parasympathetic. So the sympathetic, in simple terms, is the fight or flight response. It's that response when when you're in a dangerous situation, when you're in a stressful situation, when you suddenly have to perform and your body is in either this danger, this fear, this anxiety. That is the sympathetic nervous system. You can think about our ancestors who were hunter-gatherers living in the wild, where their survival depended upon being highly alert in dangerous situations. So whether it was wild animals that were chasing after them, whether it was fighting with another tribe, all of these dangerous situations in their surroundings, which their reaction to which their survival depended upon, they needed this sympathetic nervous system to get activated. And when this nervous system gets activated, what the nervous system does, the autonomic nervous system, is it's connected to our hormones, to our endocrine system. And when it's connected to our hormones, it's sending signals so that different glands in our body which are producing these hormones then start to produce certain kinds of hormones. So the sympathetic nervous system activates hormones like cortisol, which is the stress hormone, or adrenaline. I'm sure some of you all must have heard of adrenaline, which is the hormone that is secreted, for instance, when we go out and do adventure sports, and that gives us that kind of rush. So these hormones are required to increase our alertness, to bring up our energy. Additionally, just to make this in context, even when we drink a cup of coffee, these hormones are being secreted, the sympathetic nervous system is being activated. So now we have this increased alertness, we can focus better, we are more productive. So here is where the downside to this comes, is that if we are constantly in this sympathetic nervous response, if we are constantly our nervous system is active and aggravated, it leads to chronic issues. So there is the adrenal fatigue. The adrenals are very small glands located above the kidney, which is responsible for these hormones. And you can view it as, when we drink a cup of coffee or we go into this stress response state, that increased alertness and energy which is flooding our body is possible for us to access, because this energy is actually coming from our future. So we are borrowing this energy from our future. So think about a moment when it's 11 a.m. in the morning, it's a normal work day, you've already had 3 cups of coffee, you're still feeling a bit sluggish. This is a clear sign of adrenal fatigue, that you are using these substances and they are no longer working to bring you that stimulation, that energy. And over the long run, this can lead to all sorts of health issues, from diabetes to cancer, because ultimately we need this balance of the nervous system, where this fight or flight response is balanced out by the parasympathetic or the rest and digest response. So this is the aspect of our nervous system that is active when we are relaxed. For instance, when we are with friends, when we are just having a good time, just doing what we love, doing a hobby, out in nature, taking a walk in nature. Maybe some of you all already practice yoga, or whatever it is that we use to relax. Some people find relaxation in artwork, in music. So what happens is that we should relax our nervous system to balance this cycle. And sometimes it's difficult for us to find that relaxation, and so we might move towards sedative substances like alcohol, which help us feel relaxed, but that actually don't relax the nervous system. And so over the long run, it's actually just going to lead to more of this imbalance problem of one side of the nervous system being too active. So yoga and meditation, this is where yoga and meditation comes in, is these are great tools to activate that parasympathetic nervous system that I spoke about, or that rest and digest aspect of the nervous system. And it just allows us to feel calm, at peace, and also balance our hormonal secretions. So what happens is that when we have the sympathetic nervous system activated, there are only certain kinds of hormones that are being produced and other glands are being suppressed. So for instance, our digestion is being suppressed. So when we are in a state of stress, the body believes that there is no need to divert energy towards digesting food, and so those processes go on the back burner. Now, when we are in this parasympathetic, the relaxed state, the body is now again confident that okay, I don't have any danger that I have to attend to, I don't have to put my energy and alertness to deal with something, and so I can bring back my energies towards digesting food and all the other physiological functions to maintain the body, heal the body, etc. So next up, I'm just going to talk about a pranayama, a breathing practice that we can do from our chairs right now. And in this practice, I would invite you to just come with an upright spine. And we're going to focus on the breath and how the breath can be used to actually move into this parasympathetic aspect of the nervous system. So one of the things that I'm going to speak about is the belly breathing. Breathing into our belly, and what I mean by that is, as we inhale, we expand the belly. As we exhale, we draw the belly in. This is really important when it comes to activating the parasympathetic or that rest and digest response within the nervous system. So not clenching the belly, just allowing the belly to move with the breathing. So inhale, expanding, and exhale, contracting. The second thing, of course, is by holding the breath in a certain way, we also have this response. So we are just going to do this practice. Feel free to join me. It's actually called square breathing. So we are going to inhale, hold the breath, exhale, hold the breath. So there are four aspects or parts of this breathing. We are just going to do this for 3 rounds, so just 3 cycles of this breath, and just to showcase this method, and later on you can of course practice it for more rounds. It hardly takes any time and it's a great way to completely relax ourselves. So just coming into our eyes closed, we'll just take 2 or 3 normal breaths first. Inhaling, expanding the belly, and exhale, contracting the belly. Inhale, expand the belly, and exhale, contracting the belly. And beginning with the breath, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Last breath. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Just letting your breathing return to normal. Long deep inhales, long deep exhales. And you can slowly begin to open your eyes. I'm sure that some of y'all might be feeling the effects with just 3 of these breathings or 3 of these rounds of breathing. But to truly feel relaxed from this practice, it's great to do at least 6, 7 or 10 rounds, and you can finish that in just 2 or 3 minutes. So if you just have a short break and you're feeling stressed at work, this is a great way to completely relax your nervous system and go back to your work with a refreshed mind and a relaxed composure. Now we're going to do some asanas that can really help us, especially if we've been sitting on a chair all day, hunched in front of a computer. And the first thing that we'll do is a twist. And a twist is great because it just helps to release the spine. We are torquing the spine from side to side. And I think twists are something that needs to be included into our daily movement pattern at least 4 or 5 times in a day. So even if you're just sitting on a chair right now, you can do this from your chair, where you place your hand on your opposite thigh, so your right hand on the left thigh, and inhale to lengthen the spine, so sitting tall and straight, and exhale to twist. Long deep breaths, breathing into the belly, and slowly releasing, coming back to center. And we'll switch to the other side, placing your left hand on your right thigh, or if you're on the ground, on your right knee, your right hand behind you, or you can even hold the chair behind you. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to twist. And slowly coming back to center. We're just going to do a lateral stretch. This is to stretch out these muscles here in the side. And this is great because we tend to lean on the back of the backrest of the chair, and these muscles get compressed, which in the long run lead to lower back pain, also stiffness in the glutes, etc. So even if you can again do this one sitting in your chair. So if you're sitting on your chair, you can just bring your left hand down, hanging down from the side, and your right hand up, gazing up. Those of y'all that are doing this on your mat, you can start to bring your elbow all the way down, but make sure your right hip isn't lifting up. So you're keeping the chest open and you're gazing to your right thumb or gazing straight forward. Just breathing a few long deep breaths into the belly. And inhale, coming back to center, and exhale, moving to the other side. Again, if you're sitting on the chair, you can just let this hand hang down and this hand up. If you're on the mat, you can come all the way onto your elbow if that permits you. And just taking long deep breaths. And slowly returning back to center. Next up, we can also do this from our chair. For the neck muscles, especially these muscles up here, which can get tight because our shoulders are hunched or we are always typing on the keyboard. So we're just going to stretch out those muscles. So you can bring your neck to one side, placing your palm over the top of your head and putting some pressure with your hand into your head. If you want to intensify this, you can also bring the other hand straight to the side, pushing the base of your left hand in this case down towards the mat. Slowly coming back to center and leaning the head over to the other side, placing your left palm over the top of your head, putting some weight into the hand. And here you can start to straighten out the right hand, pushing the heel of your right palm down as far as possible. And slowly coming back up to center. The next set of exercises would require a mat. So if you have a mat handy, you can move to your yoga mat. If not, you can just watch them and do it at your own time later on. So again, we're going to begin with some mobility for the spine. So you're going to come into this tabletop position with your shoulders above the wrist, hip above the knees. And every inhale, bringing chin up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And exhale, chin to chest, curling the back. Inhale up, chin up towards the ceiling. And exhale, chin to chest, curling the back. Inhale up. And exhale, curving the back, chin to chest. Last time, inhale up. And exhale, chin to chest, curving the back. From here, we're going to move on to lying on our stomach just to strengthen the lower back, to avoid any lower back pains. So from here, you're going to have your hands close to the ribs, head down. With every inhale, you're going to lift up. So you're going to lift up your hands as well as your chest, keeping the feet down. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. And now from here, exhale, bringing the hands back, interlocking the fingers, opening the chest. Breathing here, 3 long deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly releasing down. And you can slowly release, coming into a downward facing dog. So just allowing your hamstrings to stretch a bit. pedaling your legs one by one slowly. And from here, bringing your left knee forward, we're just going to stretch out the glutes. The glutes are the biggest muscle in our body, and because of sitting on chairs, these muscles get really tight, so it's great to stretch out the glutes. So I'd like you to have the hip squared, so the hip facing down, and if your back knee is sensitive, placing a folded up towel or a cushion underneath the knee. From here, you can either just stay upright like this, or if you're comfortable, you can go onto your forearms, or even going all the way down with your forehead on the mat. Your knee should not be paining during this posture, so if it's paining, you need to take a step back and not go so deep. And slowly coming back to center, we're going to switch the sides. So coming into downward facing dog for a moment, stretching out those hamstrings, and exhale, bringing the right knee in between the hands. Again, keeping the hips squared. You can have something underneath your left knee to protect it. And from here again, you can stay upright in this position if that's okay. Or if you feel comfortable, you can go down onto your forearms, or even all the way down, forehead to the mat. Taking long deep breaths. We'll just stay here for a moment, allowing the glutes to relax. And slowly making your way back to center. So that's all for today. These were just a few postures that y'all can use whenever you have a break or at the end of the day, just to relax your body, to work on the parts that get stiff when we are working on the computer, so that we can avoid our lower back pain, we can avoid neck pain, we can avoid pain in our spine, in our shoulders. So if you just do this sequence on a regular basis, you will prevent all of these pains from coming up. Thank you so much for joining me on this special day, and I really hope you take up this practice on a regular basis to benefit your own mind and body. Namaste.